Howdy ho, neighbor. Welcome back to the Archery Shack. Let's see what we can get into today. Fletching a few arrows. I will show you what they are here in a second. A friend of mine's wife said she wanted some fancy arrows. So I'm going to show you what I come up with. These are Victory V6 Sports, because I know she might be prone to losing a few. So I put a wrap on there, a little pink wrap. And some little X veins. And let's get them fletched up. I love these Arizona Easy Fletchers. I know some people don't like them, but for a shop situation where we need to fletch stuff sometimes fairly quickly, I've never had any trouble out of these things. Now, don't get me wrong, we got a half dozen Bits and Burgers, Last Chance Archery Fletchers, God knows about any Fletcher ever made sitting around here somewhere. And sometimes I think there's a time and place for those, but for average fletching application where you want some helical, these little mini Fletchers are perfect. As long as you keep the glue off of them. And the trick is, and one thing I really like, check this out. If it'll focus. Is when the glue builds up on it, all you got to do is, we got a little jar around here somewhere with acetone in it. You put it in there for about 30 minutes, pop it out, and it's like you just pulled it straight out of the pack new. All that glue just falls off. It does all three at the same time. It's never caused us any issues. The only issues I have is, like I say, if glue builds up on it and then the veins don't want to go in there quite right. But we got, I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5, 6, I don't know. We got a bunch of them floating around here, so we just occasionally give them all a good soaking. And we go from there. One thing that drives me insane is when I see other people that have wrapped their arrows, or shops, is you look at the back of the wrap and you want them all to be consistent. There's two trains of thought here. One, and really the proper way would be, you leave a little gap between the back of the wrap and the arrow, and the reason for that is if you were to slap that arrow with another one and it have a little crack in it, you would be able to see it. And sometimes I do it that way. I also, like with these, don't do it that way. This is going to be a lower poundage 30-pound bow, and yeah, it could still blow up and all that. It just don't look as good if you leave that gap. But lately it seems like I've seen arrows come through, and I don't know, I know in particular one set came from another shop, and it looked like a 4-year-old did them. There were some that had 3/8 of an inch gap, some of them that had no gap, some of them that were on the knock, and I was like, my God. And I didn't say anything. It ain't my place, really. But the customer made mention that he got them from this shop, and they did them and all that, and I thought, I didn't say nothing. I mean, I ain't trying to throw smoke in here, but I thought that looks rough. But anyway, the proper way is to leave that little gap. That way, if I've had it happen before to me on a hunting arrow, and the way I normally would tell is my knock would be really loose fit in the arrow all of a sudden, and then I'd peel that wrap off the back and I got a crack. But looks wise, I hate having that gap, so I understand both ways of thinking. But if it's somebody with a higher poundage bow, I usually do that little gap just so they know, you don't want somebody to blow an arrow up accidentally. I take these things after I close them up as spring loaded, if you've never messed with one, and then I just kind of give it a little, it's already tight, but I give it a little squeeze a couple times and rotate it just because I'm superstitious. And then you pop it off, pop that spring back loose, and voila. They're on there perfect. Don't get me wrong, I love a Bits and Burger. as well as the next person, but sometimes with a Bitzenberger and a short vane, you really need to cut the front of your clamp off. And if you don't have, sometimes the clamp will want to like rock back and forth or not seat right and all that. Even some of my older Bitzenbergers, I guess they're getting wore out, and sometimes the spacing is not exactly perfect. But if I had to choose one Fletcher like forever, it would be the Bitzenberger. But this thing saves a whole lot of time too. Ta-da! Some beautiful arrows. I wanted white nocks, but I don't have the kind of nocks I wanted to put in there, so I have to either get some real quick or deal with orange. But other than that, I like the way they look. Now on to our next project. We are going to take this. This is the El Cheapo QAD, the ones that they shouldn't sell and they never hardly work because they bounce up and all that. Anyway, we're going to take it off and we're going to put him a whisker biscuit on. But before that, I actually also need to change the draw length a little bit. So let's do that first. We're going to let it out to 28. So we are going to rotate it. Let me look on the top limb. There's a little cheat sheet. We're going to rotate it to F, it looks like. We're going to go actually to 28.5. EF, perfect. I like it when these adjustable bows are not a pain in the butt, like where you got to take modules off and change them and drop them and everything else. PSC's got a couple that are really easy, and this is a really easy Hoyt. It's got a little window. It shows you the letter you're on. You just loosen them up a little bit, rotate them, tighten them back down, and let her eat. Woo, smoke came off of that one. We went to F. I don't know if you care or not, but I'll show you what I was talking about real quick. It has got, if it'll focus, a little window down there. Oh, let's see if I can zoom in. It's got a little window. You can line up the letters very easily. All right, now let's take this rest off real quick. The Ultra Rest, or the QAD, the Hunter model, is a, I don't know how to put it. I mean, it's junk. You know, originally when they came out, I think they were about 40 bucks. I don't know even what they sell for now, because we initially thought, hey, look at this. This is a QAD for cheap, but quickly found out why they were cheap. They don't have like an anti-bounce back feature. So as the arrow zooms through them, they'll go down but bounce back up and catch the fletching. And you can tune on them and sometimes get them to act right, but a lot of times there's trouble and stuff wears out and all that. So we quit fooling with them long ago, but we'll still get the occasional one through the shop. And we'll try our best to get it to act right, but a lot of times it just don't want to do it. When he comes tomorrow, I will get this thing shot through the paper, but for the time being, I'm going to do my little quick center shot check, which is just to line up the string. This particular bow's stabilizer's centered in the riser, so I'm going to put the string, the arrow, and the stabilizer all in a straight line, and that's going to put us really close on center shot. So basically, I don't know if I can show you this thing or not. I'm putting that stabilizer down there. Can you see it? It's way down here. It's wanting to focus. See if it'll come down here. Anyway, I'm lining up the arrow, the string, and the stabilizer. And that's a redneck way to get it close really quick. So the redneck way to do this, if you're at home, is just take an arrow. Make sure you don't have a big beveled insert that's on the riser. But lay it on if you got a flat riser, lay it on there. And then you can just look at up and down, are those parallel. You can do the same thing for center shot, really. Put it on the side of the riser and see if they're parallel. So those are very parallel that way. And if anything, we want it a little knock high. I think we're at a good starting point. And then when he comes to pick this up tomorrow, I'll have him shoot it through paper and we can make some adjustments as we need to. Now, we're gonna take one of his old arrows. I'll put a fletching on it in a minute, and we're gonna cut a new pack. I've got to where I really like this T-Bird arrow saw. It's meant for more of a modular take-home design, but the motor's really strong. It's got a built-in arrow squaring device, and you can hook a vacuum up to it if you want to. We've got this one, we've got an Apple, and we have got an X Spot, but for some reason, this one's even more trouble to adjust, but I don't know, I like the way it feels. Alrighty, we're just putting the final couple inserts in here. And these arrows will be done. These are Black Eagle Outlaws. We sell a decent number of these. This used to be our #1 arrow, and then they kept going up, 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 up. And then our cheaper arrow, if you want to call it that, became some Victory stuff, but we still sell some Outlaws. Those inserts are in. So those arrows are good to go. Those arrows are not good to go. I got to put a fletching on his old one real quick. I would not do this, but with this particular fletcher, it's easy to stick it in there and then line it up with the old fletching, and as long as you can sort of match the helical and all that good stuff, you can just stick a random fletching on there. I'd try it back in the day with like a Bitzenberger or whatever, and it just never would line up right. So let's stick him a fletching on, and then he'll be set. Ta-da! That brings us to our next project, restringing this Parker Legend XP. These used to be pretty popular, and now they're getting to be fewer and fewer. We're actually going to have to make a string for this. He's going to go green and sand. So let's do it. Some people came in and I got stopped doing what I was doing yesterday, but I'm back this morning and I've got a helper with me.
Hi.
You were shooting your bow a little bit yesterday.
Yeah.
What'd you think about that?
It was cool. And do you want to know something crazy? I have a tail.
You have a tail?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of tail?
It's a leopard tail.
Oh. You made that, didn't you?
Actually, my mom did.
Oh. I seen y'all making it the other day. So you had fun shooting?
Yep.
I don't think everybody has seen you on here in a while.
Yeah.
You've been helping me in the shop some?
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've
been on the YouTube. So what all do you do out here in the shop?
I usually just walk around.
And you talk to people?
Yeah.
Anyway, we're gonna get back to putting the string on this Parker real quick, and we gotta finish making it and then putting it on. Y'all stay with us. Alright, let's put us some cat whiskers on here. I still love a good cat whisker. I'm gonna get the peep tied in. Sorry, I forgot to video I set the idler lean. I actually had put my camera up and it about fell, so I just set it back over here. But anyway, we got her on 70 pounds. We got the idler set straight at full draw. All we gotta do is tie this in and go blast it through the paper real quick. All right, the Legend XP shot like a beaut. The bows from this arrow to me are just so easy to tune. It's a solo cam. It's easy to line everything up. You don't get much craziness out of them. Boom, boom, boom. Anyway, so we got that done. And a few people came through and I didn't record anything else, but I guess I'll end the video here. Thank y'all for tuning in. Hopefully I'll see y'all next week. And let me know in the comments when your bow season starts. Here in South Carolina, September 15th. I'm curious to know elsewhere where it starts. Let me know. See y'all later.